Good morning, everyone, and welcome to AO channel, and welcome to my family, and welcome to me. My name is Bruce, and basically, what I want to talk is about deep truths and what deep truth is. And I didn't want this to be written because I just wanted to be shared from the heart. Um, deep truth. Deep truth. The first thing to realize about truth is to realize the senses. The eyes, how that's a sense. Touch, how that's a sense. Taste, how that's a sense. Smell, how that's a sense. There's like 5 of them. Touch, taste, hearing, how that's the sense. I gotta go back in my mind because I can't remember them. Touch, taste, hearing, and smelling. Seeing, how those senses are very important. Upon the beginning of life is the beginning of what they call sense. The beginning of sense activity, which is also known as sense objects. You know, the person is born as a baby. Those are the senses that they have. The touch, taste, hearing, and smelling, seeing, and tasting, and hearing. The 5 senses. It's so powerful. You know, upon conception, we're born with that. And our experience, which is the sense experience, has started at birth. How people treat us, how they look upon us, how we perceive them. And as we grow older, as from infants, you know, we come in, we don't speak, but we holler. We move around, and we taste, and we touch, and we see. And everything is so beautiful and delightful. And we hunger, and we feel the different things when we're hungry. We go to our mother's breast, you know, to be given milk. And it's like a hunger and a longing and a desire. And then we get a hold of that nipple and we just, you know, suck until we have the milk that we need in order to survive. And it's that beginning of sense energy, the sense experience. And we get older, we get, you know, 1, we get 2, 3, we learn how to speak. And we begin to speak to our parents and we begin to communicate. But the whole thing is based upon those senses. What the ancients call sense objects and sense experience. And as is written in the Upanishads, which is another ancient text, which a lot of it, you know, they may say a Hinduism text, but I don't look at it as being a Hinduism. I look at it as being truth. And so we grow up and we have this world of experience and this different things that are coming to us constantly, and we're constantly being fed. And some of us are, you know, these experiences that we have from other people and people that we know and people that, you know, we come to know at such a young age, and of being a child, an infant, and some people not nice to us. And therefore, we have what they call unpleasant experiences. And as we get older, those unpleasant experiences make us, and they cause us to undergo what they call PTSD, post traumatic stress syndrome. And we start feeling these things, and, you know, from being negatively treated by others. But those things that we sense, the ancients will call them sense gates. You know, for every sense, there's a gate. And we keep opening the gate, and our gates are open when we're infants. We don't close those gates. And some of us may not even close those gates. We'd be 30, 40 years old, and those gates remain open, and we don't close those gates. And even though we may have kept those gates open at a young age and bad, horrible things may have happened to us, but when the gates are closed, it's like even those experiences that are happening, we don't let those experiences in to what the mind and for because the gates is controlled by the mind. And so you may think of all the gates. Just think of all the gates as being the five water gates. Some gates we close because of the experience that we've had. We close because we don't like that experience. And you have the right to close those gates, but you can only close those gates. No one else can. So you close those gates and you don't let that feeling of abuse or whatever happened, you don't let that in. Even though it may have happened in your past, it comes back. The ancients always said that days come in waves, and all these experiences come in waves. And those waves can sometimes be horrible because of a past experience they've had. And we close the gate. When we close the gate, we just decide not to let that in. And so it's like a constant thing. It's like all of a sudden there's something bad happened to you, say years ago, and all of a sudden you're sleeping and you have a dream and that gate's open back up and you're like reliving it in your dream and you toss and you turn. You're reliving it. You let that gate stay open. But then when you wake up, you close that gate and you say, no, 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 no more. That experience is not happening to me again. And it could be an experience of taste. It could be an experience of touch. It could be whatever horrible experience or unpleasant experience it was. But close the gate. Close the gate. Don't let it in. Don't let the waters in. Close it. All the time you go through this period of life. And that's a constant. The waves keep turning and the waves keep coming in and the dreams keep coming in. Last night I had a dream myself and it was an odd dream. And it was like I was in college and I had to take an exam, but I wasn't prepared. And I would say to myself, I said, what is happening in that particular dream? What was happening? And I was like, were the holy ones testing me? Or were the ancients called the high-souled ones testing me to see, if there was still attachment? Because in order to be holy and to be righteous, there has to be a detachment. Even though we live in a world where things attach to you, you always have to constantly keep cutting and cutting it off, cutting it off, cutting it off. It comes and you cut it off. Like it comes again, you cut it off again. And that's how it is. For example, it's like you decide to cut it off like a blade. Like grab this sword just so you can see. You cut it off. You shim it off. Each thought, you just cut it. You cut it off. And you cut it. And you cut. And you cut. It could be experience of abuse. You cut it. You cut it. You cut it off. It could be bad words. People telling you you're no good. You cut it. You cut it off. You cut it.